What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and y'all are tuned in to K-Rino Radio YouTube edition, man. And I got a real special guest with me tonight, man. I'm really looking forward to talking to this brother because I found out about him through my other brother, my homie, and he was explaining to me that this brother's an up-and-coming fighter, an up-and-coming boxer who we expect to be seeing a lot of great things from in the near future, man. This brother has been fighting. He's 6-0 right now. I don't know how we'll get into how many knockouts he got and all in his journey, but I think just on the clips that I've seen from him that he's a pretty dangerous cat. He's somebody that we're gonna have to really look forward to seeing in the future, man. Junior welterweight, my brother, aka the sniper, Mr. Dondrell Haynes. How you doing, family?
Doing all right.
Yeah, all right. That's what's up. We're gonna get right into it, man. Tell us about your journey in the field of boxing. When did you first get interested in boxing, and how did that whole thing come about where it's like, this is what I'm gonna do?
Well, I was interested probably about 5 years old. That's when I knew I wanted to be a fighter. Didn't know I wanted to be a boxer just yet. But I seen the movie Ali. I think they came out around the time I was about 5 years old. And ever since then, I had an interest in boxing. But it didn't happen till I was about 12 years old that my dad took me to a boxing gym to where I knew, okay, this is what I want to be. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Beautiful, beautiful. So is boxing in your lineage? Did your father box, anybody box, or you the first one to really just set it off?
I'm pretty much the first one.
Wow, that's dope. Because normally we see where the father, or like, you think about people like Floyd and people, it's always somebody in the circle, in the family, introduces them to boxing. Right. So you just told me you wanted to do it, and it was on and popping. So when you first went in, you say you were 5 years old?
Training? Yeah, my first training, my first real training, probably 17. I got introduced to boxing at 12. Did like a month, getting in trouble in school and that type of stuff.
Right.
So he sent me out there just to fix my attitude.
Right.
But I actually, from that encounter, it made me want to become a boxer. So it took a little while because where I'm from, there's only 2,500 people. No boxing gym there.
Yeah.
So I kept my dream alive till I was old enough to pursue it on my own. And here we are.
So you're from Hallettsville, right?
Yes, sir.
Where's Hallettsville? How far is that from Houston?
About 100 miles.
Okay, so it's not that far. Okay.
Nah,
so between the age of 5, when you first took the interest, to age 12, when you first got in the gym, what was going on in that 7-year period? You just kind of just going to school?
A lot of fights.
Why didn't you get in it earlier?
Well, it's no boxing where I'm from. I'm like the first ever person to do any type of combat sports from my area. So yeah, that's not something most kids not having that type of dream.
Yeah. So man, you're a pioneer then, man. How old are you right now?
25.
25. Okay, so coming up in school, was you getting into a lot of fights and all that?
Oh yeah, a lot of fights.
Yeah.
They was at first it was, I'm trying to pick on this kid. Yeah. Then it was, there's no way this little dude is beating up all these people.
Right.
So I'm going to see if I can beat him up because there's no way.
Right.
And I just kept on. It just kept going and going and going.
Kept passing out them L's to them boys, huh? So
pretty much.
You had, see, this is what I understand about a lot of great boxers, and just not even a great boxer, just boxers, period. It's like they just have a natural knack, a natural gift to fight. Just like you with no training, in the schoolyard just binging them boys. You know what I'm saying? So
much bigger kill all the kids.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing, man. So when you started to go into the gym and really just start to take it seriously, walk us through that process and what was that like for you?
Oh man, it was like, I don't know. It's like when you first started rapping, you just knew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain something like that. It's almost like a dream come true. Without even knowing.
Nervous?
It's just a different feeling.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I just knew that, like, this is what I supposed to be doing in my life.
So no nerves or no, was you nervous your first time sparring, or how did that
go? Oh no,
not
sparring. Wow. The nerves came when I had my first amateur fight.
Right.
And that was the people.
Yeah, right. It wasn't the opponent.
Right. It wasn't my mom in the stand, my grandma. That was what I was worried about.
Right.
You know, and I understood then that in order to be a good fighter, I had to conquer these nerves.
Yeah.
So I started watching Big George a lot, and I noticed that when he came back the second time, he was real calm.
Yeah.
That way he saved a lot of his energy, and they was draining nerves. Yeah. I said, if I can get calm like that, then I can be something. So I worked on that from the first day.
So that speaks to me as being the importance of being a student of the game.
Right.
Because able to draw from a past fighter, past great fighter like George
Hopkins,
and incorporate. So yeah, that's what I was going to add. Who are some of your influences, like your favorite guys in the
B-Hop?
B-Hop, yeah.
That's my favorite.
Wow.
Because of how his career came about, not because of just the accomplishments, but his story.
Yeah.
Is much different than anybody else's story. Anybody can do it how he did it.
Right.
Hard work, dedication, and 100% focus. If you do that, see, he didn't one super fast, one super strong. He wasn't Roy Jones. Yeah. Everybody can't be Roy Jones. Right. Everybody can't be James Toney.
Right.
But anybody can be Bernard Hopkins.
Come on, man. Come on.
But do you have the willpower to become someone like that?
Right.
That's a choice that us as people make every day without even knowing. You make that choice every day you wake up in the morning.
Absolutely, man. And also, the two people you just named so far while we've been talking, you mentioned George Foreman, you mentioned Bernard Hopkins, they have in common longevity. They on a high level for a long time. And where boxing is such a brutal sport that guys will fight a long time, but they'll stay around too long.
Yeah, not be good.
The money, and they're not as good. So is that something you also looked at and said, like, man, I want to have the longevity of guys like that too?
If my body allowed me.
Yeah.
But the only way I can have that longevity is if I display the discipline that they've displayed in their careers. Because a lot of these guys, they're not lasting that long because they taking drugs.
Yeah.
You know, drinking alcohol and going to party.
Right.
After my fight, I'm going home.
Come on, man.
It's nothing to celebrate.
Right.
Mission isn't complete till you retire.
You're expected to do that anyway.
Oh, yeah. That's what you train for. So what you celebrate?
And that reminds me of like just what you just said, like when they talk about when Kobe Bryant was young and the players would go out, even though he was a little younger, the players would say, man, let's go out, let's go there. And he was just like, nah, I want to go to the gym. You know, he was a gym rat. He wanted to just build his skills up and enhance himself so he can be great in his craft. So that's an interesting thing, man. So what year did you go pro?
Was it 2017?
Okay.
2017, yeah.
Yeah. And so how did the process go about with that? Because did you have you had to find you a manager? How did you go through the process of choosing who this is gonna be my trainer? How'd you develop
Same trainer, and my trainer ended up eventually become my manager. Because you know how the game is, so
right.
So I just keep everything the same. So the same trainer that I've been having since the amateurs.
Right.
I'm real big on, staying with who got you to where you was at instead of just leaving like some of these fighters.
Right.
I'm more of an old school. I studied the boxing game as a whole, not just 30 years.
Yeah.
I studied 100 years ago. Sugar Ray Robinson didn't change trainers when he turned pro. From when he was amateur, Joe Louis, 25 title defenses. He didn't change trainers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fighters just doing that because the internet, they watching YouTube. You don't have to change trainers.
Yeah.
Especially if your trainer taught you this.
Yeah.
That guy, can he build you up from scratch? Because it's easy to take a fighter that's already complete and make them a little bit better, but it's hard to build a fighter up from scratch all the way up. That means somebody care about you.
Right. Come on, man.
Coach that don't care, he's not gonna do that. See, these trainers wouldn't have looked at me if I was just starting.
Right.
They wouldn't give me the time of the day. So why would I give them the time of the day after this man sacrificed all these years, putting all this blood, sweat, and tears and love into me.
And he believed in you. And see, the crazy
Right.
part about that, when you were saying that, I was thinking about early on, because sometimes switching trainers, it works against a fighter, because the initial trainer that a fighter may have instills that discipline in them and instills them fundamentals in them. Then they go to this other guy and they start to, you see the slippage. You know, when Tyson was with Customato and Rooney, not just his offense, head movement, defense, I mean, was amazing. But when he left that camp, you saw a drop off in those areas, in the shape and everything. So that's an important thing, man. Talk to us about the conditioning of a boxer, because, man, I don't care if you're a basketball player, football player. Football players pretty. Boxing to me is the one sport where it's the most strenuous conditioning process that you got to go through, man. It's some stuff that you got to do, bro.
It's like going to war.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get in that ring, you can die.
Yeah.
You know, that's just saying it blunt. A lot of fighters don't. They go in there just to fight,
right.
But it's not just a fight.
Right.
This is your life potentially, and that's how you have to train. You have to train life and death, almost like you're in the Marines or any type of military. You have to go in there with a mission in mind every day.
Right.
And you have to almost break yourself, but do it smart.
Right.
This isn't a game. Right. A lot of people think it's a game. You know, Mayweather created this like it's a game, but he understood the stakes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He always came in shape.
That's right.
Top shape, but much better shape than anybody he ever fought. That's why he won.
That's right.
It wasn't because it's just the defense. The dude was in better shape than everybody he fought.
Yeah.
And that takes 24/7 dedication. You cannot be doing other things other than this. If you got your foot halfway in, you shouldn't do this.
Right.
You should go home and find something else to do, because this isn't something you play with.
Beautiful, man. We have Dondrell Haynes with us, man. And every time you say something, it makes me think about something. I heard Ali say one time about how as he got older, he just hated to train because he had already put his body through so much of that as a young boxer. Do you enjoy the training? I know it's hard, but is this something you like look forward to, even the tough part and the back crawls and all that other stuff? Do you enjoy training?
Oh, yeah. That's the most important part.
Yeah. Because
I know, okay, this is going to hurt for what, 30 minutes, an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Then I'm done.
Yeah.
Now I done something most fighters wasn't willing to do. See, now it's different. Yeah. The trainers ask the fighters what they want to do. That's how this game going right now. See, but I stick to the old way.
Yeah.
I listen to everything my trainer tells me to do, because I'm not in the charge of that. So anytime we do something strenuous like that, to me, that's just an opportunity to get better and to take my game to a whole nother level. And I look forward to it. Even when I don't want to do it, I know them the most important days. So I smile. So every time the doubt creep my head, like, man, I don't want to do it today, I just start laughing. Because now these days that I have to do it, I have to even work out harder this day because I don't want to do it than I did yesterday when I did want to do it. Yeah.
See, that's called being coachable. See, and what you said is it just speaks to the I would say to the economics of today's game. Like when you think about the NBA, a lot of the old school coaches, like, I don't want to coach because I can't coach these guys.
No, you can't coach.
So in boxing, just like you said, that was a great point, because if I'm making $50 million, why should I listen to you? You know, I'm the brand. Everybody come to see me. My head swole up. So
why are you the brand?
Because of the training that. So, but they don't put that together. So for you to say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna do what my trainers," you're showing yourself to be coachable and still grounded and rooted.
Right, because I'm everything I'm doing, somebody else can do the same thing.
Right.
I'm not different than nobody. It's not something special. A lot of people think that's greatness it's take a special individual. No, it's ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You going beyond the average person. Your willpower is stronger than the regular person. That's all that means. You're willing to do something somebody else wasn't willing to do. That's it. Anybody can do that.
And you know what I was thinking too, because it's like even in the field I'm in, I just take the approach that whatever I slack up on and I decide I'm not gonna do, is somebody somewhere else.
Somebody doing it.
So in your sport, just like you said, it's a war. The day you decide, I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna take this. It's somebody getting it in that might give them the edge over you, you know, if you allow that, man. So that's a beautiful point. Let me ask you a couple of questions about the politics of fighting. I know you've only had like 6 fights. I don't know, you know, in the future you'll get to that point where you have to start dealing with those big numbers and all that. When you look at somebody like a Floyd and how he has taken control over his own business side of it, is that something you look to do as well? Not so much have these promoters all in your mix, and because they have the tendency to mess up the game in terms of not getting the people to see the fights that we really want to see.
Yeah, too much business
because of the money. What would be your approach moving forward when you do start to rise up on the ladder like that?
I have to have creative control. That means what I say is go when it comes to who I fight. Else I can't sign.
Yeah. Right.
Because I was the one in the gym. You just trying to turn this to a business, but it's not just a business. Yeah. It's still entertainment.
Right.
And they come to see me. And I would be less of a fighter if I was to just take the money. That's not, I can't be a hypocrite.
Right.
I was a fan once, just like everybody else. So I can't just, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm still a fighter. I'm still a gladiator.
Yeah.
And I want to fight the best. I'm not going to lie to the people and say, I want to fight the best, then go for the money. No. If I'm going to go for the money, I'm going to let everybody know from the jump, I'm just fighting for the money. Right. But I'm not just fighting for the money. Because one day I'm going to die. And they're not going to remember the money I made. They're going to remember what I did in the ring.
Come on, man. Dondrell Haynes. You strike me as the kind of dude who wouldn't duck nobody once you got up in that realm. You give me them vibes like when it come down to it, whoever is
just a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Duck for what? He's just another man, just like me.
Yeah, you know,
I can't do that.
Long before people was making a lot of money like that, because people was ducking. You know, if people was ducking,
yeah.
Ali never ducked. No, Ali fought everybody that was of significance in his era. And in the 80s, the Sugar Rays and the Hearns and the Hagglers, they all fought at some point. So that's why people say today, oh, the boxing game is trash, it's dead, because we don't always get those fights that we want to see. So you are at 140, right?
140 right now.
Let the people know who are some of the current fighters today that are in your same weight class, that if the time would come, those would be the guys that you would be facing.
It's one fighter. He the undisputed junior welterweight champion named Josh Taylor. I'll fight him.
Okay.
But he probably a move up.
Right.
These other fighters, it don't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't really watch them anymore.
Gotcha.
I stopped watching it once I turned pro because I'm not going to be a fan of none of these fighters. You know what I'm saying? It's just Terrence Crawford, the only fighter that I really like.
Right.
For just watching.
Right.
Other than that, I don't really watch these fighters. I fight, but I'm willing to fight anybody.
Right.
Today.
So Bud Crawford, what's his weight?
He 147.
140. So y'all could potentially somewhere down the line. Yeah. So they is that a significant in weight difference in box? Does that put him in a different weight class than you?
He in a different weight class, but it's not as significant difference. It's not
he could come down and you would come up and y'all could meet in the middle.
Right. I come all the way up. If I want to beat, I want to win the right way.
Yeah.
You don't have to cut anyway. I come up.
Right. So you think that at this stage, you just starting off, you would be ready to fight a Bud Crawford now? Or do you feel like, man, to be real, I gotta kind of get a few?
I mean, as long as I get, I say a few, like 5, 6 more fights just for the experience.
Gotcha.
And maybe go a couple 10, 12 rounds just for the experience.
Right.
Then I'll be able to fight a guy like Bud, because he different. But these other guys, I can beat them right now.
Yeah. I appreciate that honesty, man. That's really good. You know, oh,
Yeah,
no,
experience matters.
yeah,
Nah, experience matters.
So in the 6 fights that you had, has there been any adversity in any of the fights yet, or you've been sweeping through like nothing? If there's a
One
fighter
fight,
that was like, oh man, that was a tough one right there.
I'm not gonna say it was a tough one, but one fight I got upset, and it was a learning lesson.
Right.
So the guy lasted longer than he should have.
Yeah.
I wasn't in control of my emotions, so I learned. That's why I say the experience. I learned something. Not to never ever get angry and never let a fighter get in your head. That was my 3rd fight. He went to the 3rd round. Other than that, most of them 1st round knockout.
I've heard some of the greats say that, talk about separating the difference between the actual technical craft and the emotion.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're watching somebody fight in the streets, they mad and now they swinging like a guy. They're like, instead of just
calm down,
focus on what you got to do. That's part of. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that part of the training process, the mental aspect of it, and just developing that patience like that?
Right. When you spar.
Yeah.
See, a lot of fighters, when they spar, they fight. You shouldn't do that. You should spar to work on something. Every time you step in the ring to spar, you should be working on something.
Yeah.
You should never go in there and try to embarrass your spawn. That's not what spawn is, to get better.
Right.
You go fight when you have an actual fight, not when you spar. And that's when you want to work on being calm and detaching your emotions. There's always an objective.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful teaching, man. Ooh, man, you teaching up in this thing, man. So when a guy is any guys you were fighting, so some of those guys they be talking while y'all in the fighting, just in your ear and saying, trying to get you off your game. They're like basketball, huh? Just trash talk.
Yeah, they do that, but a lot of times that mean they're scared or they nervous.
Right.
There's a lot of nervous energy. When they can do that, it's something that they fear about you.
Yeah.
So it's nothing you can just that's like a slap on the shoulder. Okay, man, because you don't know this dude and he don't know you, so it don't really affect me now. We have to fight.
Yeah, they try to get you off your blast. Yeah.
Anything they can.
Yeah. So when do you see yourself starting to get to the point where your name's starting to get mentioned and we starting to hear about this guy Haynes coming up? What do you have a timetable on when I'll be ready for the big time?
I don't know. Guys kind of, from what I've been hearing, they know who I am already.
Yeah.
And they don't want to step up to the plate.
Right.
Or they want to act like they don't know.
Right.
It's a, I guess you can say, an aura around me now.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand, because I'm a boxer just like everybody else. And from just being in the gym, it's kind of spread out. People been hearing about me a little bit. I was out for like 2 years.
Right. Okay.
No fight. Couldn't get a fight for 2 years.
Yeah. Couldn't get a fight, or so you didn't take an intentional break.
No.
Nobody wouldn't messing with you. They didn't want to get in.
Right. They was there. Avoid me. They tried to black me out the game. They thought they almost succeeded. Thought I was gonna quit or something. No, I can't do that.
What was in your mind, in your camp's mind, the reason behind it? They were just scared. See, because I can look at it from a situation where Muhammad Ali lost to Leon Spinks, and Leon Spinks had only had 7 fights at the time.
Right.
So I could see a situation where a fighter that may be like, I don't want to take no chance. This guy is new. That might mess up my ascension if I let this guy come in. And they know who's good. You know?
Right. Yeah, they know who's good. So maybe, I don't know. But for 2 years, they blacked me out the game. I was like, man, what I'm gonna do? I just kept at it.
Bro, I have never heard that before, bro. Especially this early on like that, man. Yeah. So I mean, that can be taken as a compliment, but at the same time, it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating. If some people like, well, you can look at it. I don't want to look at it like that because I want to fight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's guys with ego. They'll look at it like that. Yeah. I was looking at it like, man, can I get in the ring?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's very, very frustrating thing.
So, man, I'm still tripping on that. So in the 2 years, so how did the ice get broken? When that fight came after 2 years, how did that come about? Like, I bet you were like, Man, finally.
Well, I had a fight scheduled 2 months before this fight.
Yeah.
And the dude, the day of the fight, didn't want to fight.
Right.
2:00 that evening, the date of the fight, he backed out the fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane, man. How do you keep your mental focus on point? Because it's one thing to go through adversity in the ring. You're going through a tough battle, but like training and all, you still, which with training still on point.
Man, I trained hard as I could, just and then the dude, boom, this is after 2 years.
Yeah.
Boom, day of the fight. Everybody, I done sold all this tickets and everything. And boom. Wow. You don't want to feed back at the fight. I'm not fighting this dude.
Wow, man. That's
what I'm saying.
That is insane. Explain to the people, and without going into the exact numbers, with the whole your financial, we ain't pocket watching, but in terms of like at the stage you're in right now on the come up, how does that work in terms with the money? Because we know once you get up there, the money is ridiculous. I know a lot of fighters when they starting off, the money might not be there. Is this something that you make a living off of, or you got something else I gotta go work this hustle on the side?
Yeah, I was working, but now it's starting to, because I should be fighting every other month now.
Yeah, right.
So it's in a couple thousand range. My first fight, I made $0.
Right.
My coach gave me money out of his own pocket.
Right.
See, a lot of people don't know that story.
Yeah.
That's another reason. Why would I? This is family. This is more than just a coach. This is a mentor.
Yeah.
He gave me money out of his own pocket.
Right.
After my fight, I had a $0 check.
Yeah, man. And that's the story of a lot of guys on that come up, man. The money ain't good in the beginning, but trust me, with your will and determination and confidence, I can see the confidence in your face. So and trusting the training, it ain't gonna be long. It ain't gonna be long. Just before you bust through. I want to see you bust through, because I want to see you on that stage and be able to say, I interviewed that dude, man.
Oh man, you might have to walk me out.
Hey, no doubt. I got some songs that you can come out on too.
Yeah, I got a couple songs that I can pick from yours. Yeah. I need K-Rino to walk me out one time, man. That'll make my day right there.
I'll sure walk you out there, bro. It's all love, man. It's all love. Well, when is your next fight? Do you have something on the schedule coming up?
Either March 17th or March 26th.
Okay.
So either Dallas on the 17th, either Dallas on the 17th or Louisiana on the 26th.
Okay.
Between those 2 days.
Man, that's absolutely beautiful, man. Well, we are looking forward to seeing you in action, man, and can't wait to see you on that big stage. I can't wait to be flipping the channels and boom.
Yeah, K-Rino gotta walk me out. You can't flip the channel, man. You gotta walk me out.
Oh, look.
I need K to walk me out.
You might be in Australia fighting us. I might, but trust me, man, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that. Yeah. I'm coming out with you. You know what I'm saying?
I need you to come out with me.
I can't wait, brother. I can't wait. I'm honored that you would even say something like that, man. Well, look, is there anything else you want to let the people know, anything your social media thing you got going, where they can see clips of you fighting? You got some stuff on YouTube, any of that?
Instagram sniper_GFYC, YouTube Dondrell Haynes, just like my name.
Gotcha.
Y'all can check me out.
Done deal, man. Well, man, it was an honor, man. I appreciate you coming on with us, and again, wishing you nothing but the best, praying for nothing but the best. I know you're gonna be on their head like a hoodie, you know what I'm saying, as we move forward, man. So thank you for coming on, family, and just blessings to you. And anything you need from me, do not hesitate, all right?
My name is Case. On the great debate.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, brother. Dondrell Haynes in the building, man. The sniper. The sniper, man. Much love to your family. Peace and blessings.
Thank you.
All right.